There's no way I can express him. He was a good old father. We all loved him. He was a great provider and a good papa, as the kids all call him. We went through our good times and our bad times, but because we loved each other, we came through it all glorious. It's sad that he's gone, but I'm glad that he was with us for almost 61 years. There's not many people that hasn't made it that long. He was a special old guy, and we all loved him dearly.
Thank you. Thank
you. I got a few things I want to tell you about. Uncle Buddy came into our family when I was 2.5 years old. He married my oldest sister. He was a real good and jolly feller. We all loved him, and he loved to pick at me. He came by my house when his mother got sick and died. And I was cooking dinner in a hurry. Okay, he says, I want some of them beans and peas you've got cooked there. I said, okay. I got him a bowl, put him some beans and peas in it, and turned around and started back to cooking. Well, I looked over at him a few minutes later. He was picking up the beans and peas one at a time, eating them. I forgot to use him a fork or a spoon. He loved to tell everybody about me giving him something to eat, but he had to eat it with his fingers. So that was one of the funny things I enjoyed. Okay, before they moved back to Florida, both of them had a birthday, Aunt Ruby and Uncle Buddy. Well, I would fix them a little birthday cake individually. And I was in a hurry that day after I got off work to fix it and take it to him. Okay? When he came in, he says, whose cakes are those? I said, they're yours, Uncle Buddy. He says, Ruth, that is not my cake. He says, you ain't never called me Buddy. I was in a hurry, left the uncle off. So he said, that wasn't his cake. Well, back in 2001, I was fixing to get married. So we came down, I introduced him to Ruby and all of them. And first thing Buddy said to Bill, he said, run, Bill, run. He says, when you get in a family like this, he says, and you get all these girls together, you in for it. He was such a good fella, and we loved him. But he loved to be jolly and pick on everybody, and we loved to pick back, and we really enjoyed having him in the family. We all loved him. We're going to miss him, but he's still in our heart. Y'all remember us all in prayer. We love you.
I'd like to say something. I don't want to get up there. When my father passed away in '98, I never thought someone could measure up to him. And then there was Buddy Melton. He was as close to my father as my father was to me. He'd pick on me, and he'd tell me like my dad would tell me. And he was special to me. And he was my dad. He took up where my dad left off. And I loved him dearly.
Anyone else want to share some things?
I'd like to say this a little bit. I'm not talking about me, but Uncle Buddy was Uncle Buddy. And he was really close to me and my husband. And we just thought the world of him. And then back in the early 60s, when they built houses, they made the rooms small. And my family was growing. I needed more room in the kitchen. And I told Uncle Buddy, he talked to me, and I told him what was going on, that I needed more room. I had a living room that we didn't use, it just full of junk all the time. And he looked at me, he said, Jean, if you'll start tearing the wall down, I'll help you. So needless to say, I started tearing them all down, and he helped me. We got it all fixed back. And he was just doing numerous things like this, but just great. He was wonderful, Uncle Buddy.
Buddy was a good brother-in-law. He was better than that, he was a brother. In 1957, we all went up to Flint, Michigan, to work at the Chevrolet plant. And in the Chevrolet plant, I worked pretty near him, and he had a acetylene outfit, which he was heating up some metal. And he got into the habit of having little milk cartons, plastic coated. But he'd fill it up with gas and acetylene, and then put a little fuse in it, and set it over there somewhere, and after a while he'd go over there, hit it with that torch, and it sounded like a little stick of dynamite going on. He got in some trouble a little bit a couple of times. You sure did remember that. We always had fun with Buddy around. He was always joking and cutting up, and he was just the best Uncle Buddy we had. That's all there is to it.
Most of what I've got to remember about my papa is that when I was a kid, really small, I was such a tomboy. I'd get into so much trouble running around out in the yard in North Carolina picking up pieces of scrap metal from everywhere. I'd get $1 a jar for filling up a jar, and he still got some. And I learned how to whittle from him and the love of crafts. And everybody else in this family loved crafts too, not just because of him. That's what got so many of them in construction. And that's something that the generations further on have still kept up. So I attribute his stubbornness and his orneriness to the rest of the family keeping up the faith with some of our traditions.
Thank you.
I kind of remember him chasing me and you and Angel around the yard. That's okay. When you go inside, your mama's going to get you.
Well, I can't remember a time that Buddy wasn't in the family. Like Ruth said, she was 2.5 and I was about 5. And we all love Buddy. We always have and always will. But I'd go in and I'd tell him that here I am back again to pick on you again. And I did. And so when I went to the hospital to see him, he said, Mama, make him stop picking on me. I stopped picking on him, but his daughter Gail was in there. And she was in there, she was picking on him. She says, Daddy, do you want me to stop picking on you? He says, no, I think you're enjoying it too much. So Gail didn't stop picking on him. We all love Buddy, and I guess the main thing is when I was in Illinois and I'd call down here, I'd say, tell Buddy I love him. And he'd say, tell Joy I love her twice as much. I said, good, because Joy needs it. And thank you all for coming.
Someone else? Anyone at all? So you walk out the door and you say, I should have told a certain issue you had, circumstance.
They ain't no other one like Uncle Buddy was.
I
He was one of a
The
kind.
Lord threw away the bull after that.
That's right.
I first met Buddy in 1960.